Good morning, everyone. It is 8 o'clock and time now for News 5 Now. Did you like that? I did that in my best announcer voice. News 5 Now. We're on the air or something like that. Or we will be right after this.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Indeedy do, it does. Here we are, News 5 Now, ready to give you some of the big stories we've been covering throughout the day, yesterday, and early this morning. Number 5, government officials in Ottawa, Canada, backed down from planned surcharges on electricity sold to the U.S. after President Trump threatened to raise tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum to 50%. The escalating trade war has brought losses on Wall Street and fears of a recession. President Trump maintains the tariffs are having a positive effect. Number 4, people in Pritchard are getting notices that their drinking water has failed a quality test. According to the letter, the water had a higher amount of trihalomethanes, which that's a chemical used to clean water. The letter also states that those exposed to the chemical could experience health problems, including an increased risk of cancer. The court-appointed receiver, John Young, says he's aware of the issue and has money from the Alabama Department of Environmental Management to fix it. It's not an immediate risk because it's long-term exposure over years where it becomes a risk, and they know that they are addressing the problem. Number 3, more than 30 Wave Transit bus drivers walked off the job in Mobile yesterday, shutting down routes across the city. The drivers say they feel disrespected by their management company. Members of the Amalgamated Transit Union showed up at the Mobile City Council meeting upset at First Transit, the company hired by the city to manage the Wave Transit system. Union members want First Transit to do more to protect drivers from harassment on buses and to do a better job maintaining the fleet of vehicles. Number 2, the Mobile City Council approved proposals from 16 organizations to help people overcome opioid addiction. Included are local healthcare providers like USA Health Children's and Women's Hospital and Franklin Primary Health. And number 1, starting May 7th, real IDs will be required to board domestic flights and to access certain federal buildings. Exact requirements may vary from state to state. Alabama calling its version the Star ID. You've heard about this for years, and they keep pushing the deadline further and further away. Some documents needed to obtain the Star ID would be proof of identity, Social Security, proof of address. Once completed, it takes up to 2 to 4 weeks to get your new ID in the mail. That's our reporter, Catherine Brook, who was getting her license there. And I actually did this a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago now, because I've already got it in the mail. It was easy to do. You gather the documents that you need, and in our case, it was, we took a passport, your existing driver's license, your Social Security card, proof of residency, which you can use as a utility bill or something like that. So they've got the criteria for you. It's online. Look it up, State of Alabama, and you'll find out how to get your Star ID. Get you over to our question of the day. We're going in sports mode today. Should the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments expand beyond 68 teams? Well, let's find out what some of you think. Honestly, I think it's big enough. Where would you get the games? Where would you play them? Who would play? I don't know. No. Betty says no. Big enough as they are. Yeah. Half the field doesn't even belong there now, says Lynn. Andrew says the NCAA, when they think about expanding, they're counting the money there, Bugs Bunny. Yeah, some of you may have a point. Come on over to our Facebook page, and if you're not here already, which you should be, and while you're here, you can comment on some of these stories and answer our question of the day. Our poll of the day. Let's go with the tax season. Have you filed your taxes? You know you have until April 15th. Many of you do it early. I personally don't have to worry about it. My wife owns her own business, has her own accountant, does that for us. And that's good. That's a convenient thing to do, but the burden is still there. And, if you have, good for you. If you haven't, You got a little time. So there you go. Like I said, come on over and help us out with your Facebook page. Did I show the poll question? I think I did. And you can comment on that as well, our poll of the day, any of the stories that you might find here. Coming up a little bit later today at 9 o'clock this morning, Devin Walsh will be here for News 5 at 9 and for News 5 at noon. And she will also be back here at 12:30 for News 5 Now. We're back, of course, tomorrow bright and early in the morning on a Thursday at 4:30 tomorrow morning. We hope you'll join us for that. For myself, Bill Riles, Shamani Baker, she'll be here, John Nodar, Simone Sherrod, and Grant Skinner. And Caroline Carruthers dropping by the station today with her daughter, Ella Jane, 2 months old, and we all look forward to seeing her. So we will see you back here tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.